What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Zach. I know it's been a couple days since I have posted here on YouTube. As I said, a few things came up, but no worries. All things are good. But I still wanted to do this today. I definitely I want to do this as much as possible. Because this is one thing that really needs to be taken care of, and that is your mental health. So how is your mental health? How are you mentally, physically? Tell me what is going on. If something is bothering you, if you've got, some, maybe your past traumas have messed with you. And still today it's messing with you. That's understandable. That is 100% understandable. I've been there. Trust me. As I've told you before in previous YouTube videos, I've been through hell and back. I've been through 3, almost 4 times bullied, because I have the wheelchair. I've been rejected my whole life because of having the wheelchair as far as dating and relationships go. Now, with that said, and I'm not saying there's not good people out there. There is really good people out there. And I know those good people. I know some really good people personally. Let me say it that way. But, some of that past trauma, those past things, yeah, it got to me. But also, let me say this. I know there's people out there who, have gotten bullied or, picked on and just messed with. Simply because certain people, meaning bullies, think that people are, they think that certain people are an easy target to mess with. And that can mess with people. That messed with me. Because I was bullied, like I said, 3, almost 4 times. Again, because I have the wheelchair. People think that he's got a wheelchair. We can just screw with him. And that 4th time, I opened my mouth and I said what I said, and scared the person off. So with that said, how is your mental health? It can really, like I said, I know it can really screw with people. And like I said, even though I've been the bully 3 or 4, almost 4 times, plus, like I said, I've been through judgment over the last, let's say, 18 years. I'm trying to do math in my head, that's why I say it like that. But that's because I have a wheelchair. And a lot of people don't see that, still never been on dates or relationships because people want to see the wheelchair instead of just, focusing on me, who is, a 100% true human with a 100% true feelings, just the same as somebody walking, except I'm sitting down. But I still have the same feelings as a person walking. Now, with that said, yes, I do have my left leg from my a little bit below my knee down, I lost a lot of feeling. And that's only because of one reason. Because I had a surgery on my hamstring to release a knot that was in my leg, to where it was there, which wasn't allowing me to straighten my leg all the way out to walk. Like you see most people that walk with straight legs. So that's what that is. But rather than that, I'm as human as can be, and so are you. And a lot of people do see that. A lot of people see that you're a human, and they treat you as a 100% true human. So with that said, there is really good people out there, and I know that, and I hope that you know that too. And I know for a fact, a lot easier said than done. But don't let those people that judge you and put you down, don't let those kind of people get to you. They're going to try to, because they think, oh, that's an easy target. Well, we can get to him. I know I'm probably moving my face a lot, but I've got a fly in here that's messing with me. Stupid fly. But let me tell you something. We are all 100% human. They're 100% different, but 100% true story about us. And no, a lot of people might not understand that. They might not understand what you go through. And that's because, again, they haven't been through it. So when somebody else hasn't been through what you have, if somebody else hasn't been through what you have, it's gonna, they're not gonna understand. They're not gonna understand. Again, 100% understandable. A lot of things that happened for me that shouldn't have happened. And yes, I will admit, it got to me. Like I said, one scenario, yes, I went through about 2 months worth of depression, and I called that person out on it. But I'm over that now. And now that I've been through all that I've been through, when I first started here on YouTube, that was not, this is my goal. To be able to go back, to go out and say, look, I've been here. I've been through this situation or that situation. And even if I haven't been through a situation, I'm willing to put myself in a person's shoes, or and see how things, how a person sees it, or try to see that person's situation the way that they see it, and then give my advice and say, look, this is your situation, and this is how I would deal with it if I was in your position. Because you know what? There's so many people out there who go through all kinds of hell. That unfortunately, yes, a lot of people aren't here right now. And I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you this. That is not the answer. Suicide is not the answer. I know a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people, have went to that. But let me tell you something. That's not the answer. I promise you. The best advice I can give you on that scenario, if you got something that's, messing with you, and, a situation or situations that's messing with you, talk to somebody. Get that out, let it out. In other words, let it out what's going on. In other words, talk about it, I guess is the best way to say it. Talk about that situation. And it's better to talk about something or anything. It's better to talk about anything than it is just to hold it in and just let it sit there. Let it out. Talk about it. And I'll say this, and I'm gonna try to make a different YouTube about this here in a minute, or a few minutes when I get done with this one. But I know I talk a lot of low crap, a lot of low things. But at the same time, yes, I've been through those things that I've told you about. But also, one of the reasons that I do talk about those things is I try to raise awareness and say, look, you're going through these things, or a lot of people go through these things or get put through these things. And look where they end up. And this is just in case a bully is watching, or, a rude person's watching. A lot of people get put through this crap. The bullying, the judgment, the getting made fun of, which I think is pretty much feels like the same thing as judgment. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people get put through all kinds of hell that they think, oh, there's no way out. Huh? Okay, I just don't want to be here no more. I might as well end it. And I'm here to tell you, that's not the answer. That's not the answer. Yeah, you may feel like that. And I know people that have felt like that. Personally, people that felt like that. But at the same time, I've had those same people come to me and talk to me and tell me about things, which I'm glad that people open up and want to talk instead of just bottling up and hold those feelings in. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't bottle up and hold those feelings in. If something's on your mind, let it out. Talk to somebody. I'm even here. Feel free to message me. Leave me comments, and whatever things you want to, especially with things that you want to hear, and whatever it is that you want to hear, and that anything that will help you, and I will get that done for you. Now, like I said, I know it's been a few days since I've posted here on YouTube, but that doesn't mean that I'm going anywhere. That doesn't mean that I don't care, because I do care. I do care. If I didn't care, guess what? I wouldn't be almost 4 years here on YouTube. And, be honest with you, I love it. I love it, being able to sit here, or if I sit outside, or whatever the case may be, and post. And be able to reach out and try to help somebody as much as possible. And I say it like that because, you might be somewhere that's across the nation. You might be a different country, or in other words, you might be a different country. But by me posting here on YouTube, I hope this helps you. I hope that this makes a positive impact on you. Because that's exactly what I love doing. I love being able to help people. Now, I may not be the Einstein here. And I know I'm not perfect. Because, again, no one's perfect. But we're all perfect in someone's eyes. And I can promise you that. Because if, say for example, you have 4 people. I'm just giving you an example. And out of those 4 people, only 2 of those 4 people are judging you. They're being a judgmental person towards you. But these other 2 over here, they're being a loving, caring person, motivative. Who are you going to stick with? You going to stick with the 2 over here on the left that are judgmental, that are, being a bully towards you? Or are you going to stick with these people here on the right that are loving, caring, supporting, motivating? You're going to stick with the 2 people on the right. At least that's my advice. That's what I would do if that was me. And so with that said, keep being you. Let nothing or no one hold you back. I'm proud of you. Just in case no one's ever told you, or doesn't tell you, or hasn't told you today either, I'm telling you, I'm proud of you. And no, I'm not just saying that to be saying that. I am proud of you. And I got much love for each and every one of you. And like I said, I'm here. And I'm not going nowhere. Now, I know it's easier said than done. Going after, your goal or goals or anything that you're after. But you got this. You got this. And I know there's times where you think, I don't know about this. I'm ready just to throw in the towel. Guess what? I'm throwing the towel right back at you. And say, look, you're almost there. Keep fucking going. You're almost to your point of reaching your goal or goals. Keep going. Keep pushing. Keep being you. And keep smiling. Because I'll tell you what, the more positive that you are with your attitude, guess what? It can rub up on someone else and say, okay, they're not positive, or they're not, they're kind of negative. Maybe they've been through, a lot of things. And again, that's understandable. That's 100% understandable. But surround yourself with a positive group of people. Because like I said, there are many people out there that are beyond positive and that will be there for you through hell and back. There are many people that's going to be there for you through hell and back. They're going to see you go through hell, and then guess what? They're going to go right there through it with you. And they're going to be right there to hold you up. You know, to help pick you up and hold you up until you get, and get you through that situation or situations. Guess what? I am one of those. I am one of those persons. I stutter, I know, and sometimes I can help it, sometimes I can't. But I am one of those persons that will stand or in this case, here on YouTube, be there, but also stand beside you and say, look, here's what you're going through. You're not going alone. I see your situation and the way you're telling me. Now, guess what? Now I'm stepping in, and now we're both going through that situation. See, with that said, there's more people in your corner ready to help you than you might know. There's more in your corner than you might know. So again, with that said, keep going. Keep being you. And let nothing or no one hold you back. I love you. I care about each and every one of y'all. So again, here's your towel. Wipe your face. Get back up. And let's get it.